What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Boxing Ego Camp Life, Day 31, Mayweather Pacquiao, the fight we all want to see. It's been pretty quiet on the Western Front. There are some updates, so make sure you stay tuned to this video. Hit the like button, subscribe. So let me start with the Manny Pacquiao side of things. Manny Pacquiao went for his typical run in the park, and I guess he got a visit afterwards when he was at the gym from U.S.A.D.A. They did draw some blood, and I guess after he didn't really feel like training, according to the top-ranked publicist and spokesperson, he didn't really feel like training, so they gave him a day off. This happens to be his second day off in a row from sparring. Yesterday, I guess Freddie Roach gave him the day off. Just he doesn't want Manny Pacquiao to overtrain, so he said take a day off, and they didn't know they were going to get a U.S.A.D.A visit, so they were going to resume training today, and they got just like the random blood and urine suggests, they got a random visit from U.S.A.D.A, and they did draw blood, and I believe gave Pacquiao his second PED test, U.S.A.D.A test or whatever. So let me talk about the 4 vials, because I could tell there's a lot of people, and it makes sense if you're not in the medical field or you don't really know about blood testing and the protocol or whatever, but there's a lot of people that aren't in the know, and I'm reading all kinds of comments, and people don't really understand the blood testing. So let me try to shed some light. As far as the 4 vials, they draw, I don't work for U.S.A.D.A, so I don't know the exact, I know some things about the medical field, so I don't know the exact vial size that they use, but for blood testing of this sort, for like a drug test, your sample size doesn't have to be too big. So typically for a blood test for this purpose, they would use probably a 7mm to 15mm, and 15mm is being very generous because that's a bigger vial. Usually if they're drawing 4, they're probably using the 7mm vials, which isn't that much blood. A lot of people, again, there's a lot of misconceptions. They're like, oh, Pac went home and he's so drained from blood testing. 7mm times 4 is 28. That's 28 milliliters of blood, and it's not that much blood. However, some people have their own pet peeves, their own superstition. I remember, because I've always had to get blood drawn because I had some issues when I was a kid, some medical problems, so I had to get blood drawn. It never really bothered me because I was getting blood tested so much, you know what I mean? I just grew accustomed to it. But let's say, for instance, my sister, she would cry. My sister would cry when she got blood tested. You know what I mean? She did. I think it was the feeling of a needle, or just, you know what I mean? You're a kid, and just knowing that there's a needle sticking you. A lot of people take it a certain type of way, and it's mostly like a superstition or like a psychological roadblock. Just the same as my ex-girlfriend, she was petrified, literally petrified of spiders. She hated them. You know what I mean? Me, I'll kill a spider. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't care as long as I ain't no fucking, you know what I mean, life-size 20-foot tarantula or something. I'll kill a spider with a shoe, and it don't bother me. It don't make me flinch or nothing. But she was literally afraid. So just different people have their own superstition. Manny Pacquiao complained in the past about basically fear of needles and stuff like that. So maybe it just, you know what I mean, doesn't sit well with him. But the amount of blood that they're drawing is really not that much. But again, I can't speak on behalf of people's personal inhibitions and fears. I don't know. But that's not enough to make you woozy. You got to think of, like, when people donate blood, that's different. Donating blood versus getting blood drawn for drug tests. Because with U.S.A.D.A, they understand even though they're doing Olympic style blood and urine tests, they understand that this is still an athlete, especially a mega fight in this particular case. They understand that. So they're not going to take so much blood to the point where you're going to pass out and you get punched once and, you know what I mean, you faint, something like that. They don't take that much. But again, if people have their own personal hangups and roadblocks, that's something different. But the amount they're taking isn't much. Now, if you're donating blood, that's different, because sometimes they take pints of blood. If you're doing like a blood donation for like a blood drive, that's different, because that might make you woozy. Sometimes they have like waters and juices and stuff to replenish you. And I know some people that have donated blood, That's a total different cause than the sample size needed for a drug test. But donating blood, if you're losing a pint of blood, that's something different. Or let's say you get shot and you lose a lot of blood, stuff like that, you are gonna feel it. You know what I mean? You're gonna feel lightheaded, and there's different side effects that come with that. But 7 millimeter vials, four of them, is not gonna really do that. But again, a lot of things in boxing in general are just psychological. If you have psychological hangups and you know what I mean, you don't embrace it anyway, of course it's not going to be suiting. So anyway, long story short, Manny Pacquiao went home, second day in a row of training. He did get a visit in his gym though. Karl Malone, the mailman, if you're a basketball fan, great games with the Chicago Bulls and the Utah Jazz. Karl Malone's old team, they call him the mailman. You could see he's still huge, especially next to short Pacquiao. And that was one of the visits that Manny Pacquiao received in the gym. A couple days ago, Mayweather, I guess he thinks he's Demolition Man or something now. Send a maniac to catch a maniac. He doesn't know how to use the three seashells. That's one of my favorite movies. But anyway, Mayweather entered a cryotherapy center, I guess in Las Vegas. I didn't even know this was out there, but it's Vegas. They got all kinds of bunny ranches and all kinds of shit. But so a lot of people don't really understand this, so I'm going to explain this too. Floyd Mayweather entered a facility. It's called Sub-Zero Recovery. It's a cryotherapy. So basically what it is, it's like a chamber, and it's the temperature is negative 200 degrees, and you go in there for a brief time, very brief, because obviously that's, you know what I mean, you'll get hypothermia or some shit being in there for a long duration. So anyway, what you go in, and you go into this like sub-zero temperature or whatever for whatever duration of time, and it's supposed to leave you feeling rejuvenated and refreshed, and it stops and reduces, well, not stops, but it reduces inflammation. When you work out, your muscles inflame. That's how they grow, because your muscles contract and tear, and different things like that. So basically your body's natural healing process, it's supposed to expedite that for you. So what your body would naturally do, being introduced to that cold climate, is supposed to be soothing for that. No different than if you get punched in the eye, you watch a TV show, character gets punched in the eye and they put it like a cold frozen steak on his eye, because it's supposed to reduce swelling, you know what I mean? And again, when you work out, your muscles swell and become inflamed. So it's no different than when you get a bruise on your arm or black eye or something, and then you ice it, because that is what is supposed to help you recover. And you also see this with like Canelo on the All Access, and a ton of boxers I've seen do it when they enter like a tub and it's full of ice. It's an ice bath. A lot of people do that. Canelo did it on All Access. I forget exactly what fight it was, but one of his fights, and he made this crazy like some Godzilla noise when he got in. But pretty much the same concept, except this is just a facility that specializes in it, and it looks all state of the art, and you probably have to be rich and loaded to have a session. I mean, I don't know the prices or anything, but basically it's comparable to an ice bath, but a state of the art version. And you know, Mayweather is the money man, so he goes through these Demolition Man cryostasis and shit. So no, it's not much different than an ice bath, or the purpose of an ice bath. And from what I hear, Mayweather got headbutted in sparring, so he's taking it lightly. And I think he has taken some days off as well. So the top-ranked spokesperson said Manny Pacquiao, they're not really fearful. He did his morning run, and I guess he looks in tremendous shape, and he was faster than the other runners, so they're not really worried about him having the day off because of the U.S.A.D.A testing, or yesterday off, because they said he still looks in great shape. And here's a picture of Manny Pacquiao recently, and he has a six-pack now. And that's one of the things I was telling you guys when he was on the Showtime HBO promo video with the green screen. He looked a bit soft in the stomach section, but now it looks like he's coming down in his weight, leaning out. He has a six-pack, obviously, and I'm looking forward to a good fight, May 2nd, both fighters. But I want to give some clarification as far as the cryotherapy, what it was. Some people didn't know what it was, and then also Manny Pacquiao's situation with the drug testing and the vial size. It's really not a strenuous amount, but again, some people, they just don't like giving blood. They don't, you know what I mean? Just like some people, I know people that have weird things like they don't want to try sushi. You know what I'm saying? No reason. They just raw fish, like it just sounds nasty to them, so they won't try it. So people have their different hangups. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Camp Life, day 31. Manny Pacquiao, Mayweather. The fight is about 3 weeks away. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think on these topics. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next videos. Ego signing off.